What does RIAU and RIO have in common? You might think, what does RIAU, an Indonesian state, have in common with Rio, a Brazilian city almost halfway across the world? Well, the word for RIAU actually comes from the Portuguese word rio, which means river. Similarly, Rio de Janeiro means the January River. There are two possible reasons of why Rio got that name. One is Rio, which means river, given by the Portuguese in the 1500s. Second is Rio, which means crowded or bustling, given by the Malays in the 1700s. The story of how Rio got its name actually starts in Malaysia. The Portuguese had invaded and captured the city of Malacca. They exiled the king and his followers out of the city. The king and his followers fled to Rio, and in pursuit of them, the Portuguese followed. While chasing the Moluccans, the Portuguese stumbled upon a river. They decided to name the land after the river, so they named the land Rio, referring to the Siak River. The story of how Rio de Janeiro got its name is equally as interesting. Portugal and Spain were the strongest countries, so they decided to split the world in half. The right went to Portugal and the left went to Spain. Obviously, this did not stick through, but you can still see remnants of it in modern day. Obviously, Brazil is the only country on the right of the line, so they speak Portuguese. And a lot of countries on the left, and all of them speak Spanish. The Portuguese arrived in what is now known as Rio de Janeiro. They arrived in the month of January, and they mistook the Guanabara Bay as a river mouth, so they decided to name the river the January River, or Rio de Janeiro. They built a fort which became a city in that area, and they named the city Cidade São Sebastião do Rio de Janeiro, or City of Saint Sebastian of the January River. That's how Rio de Janeiro got its name. I find this interesting. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Spanish say super. What does meow and What does Rio and Rio have in common? You might think, what does Rio, an Indonesian state, have in common with Rio, a Brazilian city almost halfway across the world? Well, the word for Rio actually comes from the Brazilian